everybody, Max here from MaksPlayground, and welcome to the Strangetown tier list that I am doing. I made a Pleasant View ranking tier list not too long ago, and I got some pretty positive feedback on it, and I decided that it would probably be a good time to do the Strangetown, my Strangetown one. And I kind of organized them, the families all together, and I did the same rankings as I had in my my Pleasant View one. If you guys haven't watched that, there should be a little a little thing in the corner of this video on either side, and just go check that out if you do like The Sims 2, and if you want to see more content by The Sims 2, check out some of my videos on my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, it really helps. Let me know how you guys feel about, you know, my content. So yeah, getting started, I just want to give you a little bit of a warning, is that I don't fully know a lot of these Sims backstories, or I haven't really developed a lot of their backstories because I haven't played with them that much. I played with them, but not as deeply as I have with the Pleasant View Sims. And I mostly, I mostly have played in the pre-made neighborhoods. I played with the Pleasant View Sims, and I played with Belladonna Cove Sims. So I just want you guys to know that I don't know their backstories quite as much. I've developed some of them, and you know, as I've been renovating their neighborhood, like the Strangetown neighborhood, as I've been playing with some of my Pleasant View Sims and have them interacting, because my Strangetown is attached to the Pleasant View Strangetown, so the Pleasant View, sorry. So my Pleasant View, I have it attached. So I just want you guys to know that if I don't go into as much detail about it, that's the reason why. So yeah, getting started. So starting off with AJ Loner. Now, I picture AJ to be somebody who came to Strangetown as a reporter from SimCity, and he really wanted to make a big break with you know, the things that are going on in Strangetown. Not many reporters have even ventured into Strangetown and have come back with a giant story. You know, he knows about the disappearance of Bella has something to do with Strangetown. He knows that, you know, he's a very good reporter. And when he goes, I have him in as he's okay. Because, like, I picture AJ going to Strangetown and actually getting to know these people and starting to care about what happens to these people, and he gets involved with some of them. He becomes close to the Curious brothers. He gets close with the single household. You know, he starts making friends, and he ends up like finding things out that he just doesn't really think the rest of the world needs to know, and maybe that's why he stays there, kind of thing. That's kind of what I picture for AJ. He goes to Strangetown with a goal and ends up making a life kind of deal. So that's kind of just AJ's background. I haven't played with him too much. He's still in my family bin as of right now. I gotta make him like a place and stuff like that. So yeah. Bella, this Bella isn't supposed to be in Strangetown. I mean, she's supposed to be in Strangetown. She's a clone, and in real life, they've talked about how the Bella in Strangetown was kind of like an accidental mishap. Like, she wasn't supposed to not have her memories and stuff like that, but they messed up. So Bella, in my opinion, in my story, this Bella is an alien experiment clone that ended up being like made and like produced to send back to like Pleasant View, but like she ends up being a real person and like ends up like actually like, you know, there's a lot of different explanations for her, and she kind of just I just don't like her. I always just don't really bother with her. I know she's an NPC in regular Strangetown. In my Strangetown, she's actually not there because of the version of it that I have downloaded. Pollination. He's one of, actually, you know what? He's not my favorite. I can't say he's my favorite. I have other favorites. I do like him, though. He's an A-lister. I think Pollination's story, the way I've played him, is that just, like, you know, he was working as a pollination, like he was impregnating people, and then he ended up crash landing on in Strangetown, and he just never left. He, like, you know, he still has some of his contacts, but he retired. He doesn't want to be, sorry you guys if you guys hear my cat in the background, he doesn't want to impregnate people. He doesn't want to have a bad reputation. He wants to just be a family man, and that's exactly what he did become. He did have 2 daughters, and in my head, in my current playthrough, he knows the Caliante's grandfather. He knows the aliens that are related to the Caliantes. He knows a little bit about what happened to Bella. He knows like the real Bella. He's pretty close with some of the people in the neighborhood. The one person he isn't close with though is General Buzz. Yeah, he's not really friends with him because General Buzz isn't really friends with anybody. But yeah, he also really loves his wife and would do absolutely anything for her. So that brings me on to Jenny Smith. She's not my favorite. I like Jenny, but she's not my favorite. She kind of strikes me as somebody who would be like a really big risk taker. She's also very youthful, and she loves things. She loves the wild side of life. She loves, you know, her children and stuff like that, but she also just like likes weird things. She's really like eclectic and eccentric and really like just kind of all over the place. Like she's kind of one of those like weird hippie moms kind of deal. I would picture her kind of like puffing on a joint and having a party in the rain type of thing. Like or having too much like bubble blower and like, you know, and she's like tries to stay hip with her son and her mom. Her and her son and her daughter just have a really good relationship. I also kind of want to get her pregnant again from pollination, but that's just besides the point. Now Jill, she's okay. She's not my favorite. She's okay. In my game, I've always kind of had her, you know, she's always just been like a good sim. She's kind of like one of those popular girls that kind of maybe falls for the nerdy boy like Buck, or I've had her end up with Buck. I've had her just be best friends with Buck. She's just a really cool kind of girl. Like she's not anything special, but she's not like a bad sim or anything like that. Johnny, he's one of my favorites. Johnny Smith is one of my favorites. I love him and Ophelia together. I've had him go on many different paths. I've had him go to college. I've had him break up with Ophelia. I've had him get married to Ophelia. I've had him get with Nervous before. I've had him get with one of the Curious brothers. I've had him get with a couple of people. I'm sorry if you guys hear my cat in the background. But yeah, I've had him get with a couple of different people. I like him with, I don't know what he is doing. Hagar. Oh goodness, I'm sorry. Anyways, Hagar. Anyways, sorry about that. Yeah, I like him. He's one of my favorites. The singles, I'm not really even too sure which one. Like, I'm not sure who she is, but Lola, okay. Hagar. Again, sorry guys. Yeah, so I think that's Lola and that's Chloe, or is it the other way around? Is it Chloe and Lola? I may have gotten them wrong. But anyways, I see her, she's kind of meh. I don't really do a lot with the singles. Like, I've played with them, I've gotten them married off. Like, I've had her marry Laszlo, even though Aaron Beaker usually gets with Laszlo. I've had her have an affair with Nervous. I've had her get caught and live with the Beakers. She's kind of like between her and, like, you know, I'm pretty sure she's not a romance sim, and then it's this one, her sister that is. I've also had her move back in with her father, Paul, like her, like, you know, she is like, you know, she is Johnny's sister and stuff like that. So yeah, with her, for example, I either usually get her to be kind of like, I think I'm pretty sure she's like the grumpy one, and she's kind of like you know, she's kind of she's you know, I don't really get her to do that. Sometimes I end up having her be a spinster, sometimes Olive. You know, I can picture her kind of getting close, try to get close with Olive to see like if she can become a witch by Olive. I can kind of see that, doing that with her now. I don't have a whole lot of plans for them because I haven't really explored them a whole lot, to be completely honest. This is another one of the single sisters. I don't dislike her. I don't like her. She's kind of just meh. I've had her get with Laszlo. I think usually get her with Pascal. Yeah, I've got her with Pascal. I've had an affair with Nervous before too. I've gotten her pregnant with Nervous, even though I usually have Nervous as being gay. I've had her have an affair with Nervous as well. I also think I may have had her have an affair with Loki. I did that once too, and probably in the same gameplay. I really like Erin. Erin Beaker is Loki's sister, and I have a pretty complex story for Loki and Erin. I've had it always just kind of played it this way, and I want to continue playing it this way. That they came from a really messed up household. They came from a really abusive household. I picture them like Erin not letting it affect her, but not letting it turn her bitter. Whereas with Loki, it really turned him bitter. And Erin was the one who sought help. Erin was the one that improved her life. She wouldn't let what happened to her make her an angry person, whereas it did with her brother. It turned her brother into a very evil man. Whereas like Erin didn't. And Erin was also one of the people that helped Nervous escape in my story. I always have like them become really good friends when she goes and visits them, and then Erin kind of like invites Nervous to move in with her, like move in with them and stuff. And that's kind of how Nervous in my game has always met like Pascal, because I've also get Nervous with Laszlo, which it causes a lot of drama with her and like Loki, because Loki does not like the Curious brothers. So yeah, it's kind of my story for her. I do like Erin. She's a wholesome sim. She's wholesome. Now I'm not even sure who this is. I'm trying to I think she ends up is she the one that ends up getting with Laszlo? Is she a single? I don't know about her. I always forget if she. I forget. We're gonna just put her in meh because I don't remember her. I don't remember her. I'm not sure who she is. I just forget who she is. If she's like a twin, if she's, I don't know. But Loki, send him to the Grim Reaper. Loki is a terrible man. He is abusive. I don't know which one's the evil one. His wife, Cersei, or her, or him. If he's kind of like cast an overshadow with Cersei, or if she, if she's the one who's the evil one. They're just very terrible people. I don't like Loki very much at all. I try to make his life harder than what it has to be. I don't see him being any redeeming qualities. I do have them have a baby usually though, and he really ends up caring about his child, and that's the only thing that's really redeeming about him. But he's still pretty weird. He's still pretty weird. Now, Cersei, again, I don't like her. I think she's maybe a little bit better, but she's still really, really just evil. She ends up having a baby for really different reasons. Maybe she wants to have a baby to experiment on it and just kind of be really neglectful. I could see their baby getting taken away from the social worker and going to live with Erin. It just really concerning. And she doesn't like her. She doesn't like Nervous at all. She doesn't like Erin. She's just a really grumpy old bat of a person. I'll say that. Nervous is one of my favorites as well. I have a soft spot for Nervous for so many different reasons. I know he's one of people's favorites. He's a fan favorite. Nervous is just I feel bad for him. He's a product of the Grim Reaper, well, rumored to be a product of the Grim Reaper, and Olive. He doesn't even know that's really his mom. Like, you know, he's just had it really rough. I imagine that Olive sold, like, they bought him off of Olive. That's like the way that like I see it. Like, they made some sort of deal and the social services got involved, and they're the ones who took her, like took Nervous away from her, and you know, then they like Olive was like kind of aware of what was going on there, and it was just kind of really sad and messed up, like really tragic. General Buzz Grunt, I could not care less if he ends up dying. I don't like him. He kind of, there's certain things about him that really remind me of my own dad. My dad and I aren't close. I'll just put that out there. It's a kind of a well-known fact if you know me in real life. Kind of reminds me of my dad for so many different reasons, besides the fact that he's really militant. Well, military based. My dad's not anywhere near military based. My dad's pretty militant though. But yeah, he's just very strict, and he puts his family through a lot. And I think he is also like partly to do with the reason why Lila isn't in the picture, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Lila was like the one thing that kept him like kind of like good, and she's gone now, and he's doesn't like a lot of people in the neighborhood, so I just don't like him. His son, another person, I think he's like too far gone, and the only thing that can really save him, I think, would be like falling in love and having a baby to really get him to be like, you know what, no, and like it be the girlfriend to not, like the girlfriend is what would help him like see how much like his dad has affected him and stuff like that. He doesn't have a good relationship with Rip, and he's older than Rip, but he's almost gone away to college. He's always just wanting to impress his dad. Now, Rip is one of my favorites, too. I like Rip for so many different reasons. I've had Rip do so many different things. I've had him, like, have an open relationship with Johnny and Ophelia, like a kind of a polyamorous kind of relationship. I've had him, like, get with, like, one of these girls. I've had him get with Aaron. He's a romance sim. I've also had him be, like, gay. I've had him get with almost everybody in the neighborhood that he could get with. But yeah, I like Rip. He's also another misunderstood sim. And I feel like he had it hit the most with his mom when she left. Him and Buck were the ones that were hit hardest. Rip, I could see him being very close with his mom and coming out to his dad that he's not exactly into women fully. It would be something really hard for him, and his mom would be the only one that understands it. So he's very, very absent. It's very absent without his mom. He's missing his mom. I really love Buck. Again, I have a soft spot for Buck because of his dad, and his dad not really always like trying to whoop him into shape and always trying to get him to exercise. Again, something that hits close to home. So that was always something that I always kind of like related to as a kid, and it was really sad. That sounds kind of messed up, but yeah, I really do love I love Buck, and he's cute and he loves animals, and I just kind of always pictured him to like be somebody that would own a pet shop or something like that, or he likes fish. I think it was it fish or something? Yeah. I always imagine him being one that owns a pet shop and stuff like that. Now, if you guys did watch my video with Lila, you probably would have, or not Lila, sorry, goodness. My video where I was renovating all of Spectre's house, I talk about how Lila, who is General Buzz's wife, she in my story, in my playthrough, when I have what I have so far, I've never really played with her, but what she represents is kind of like something that I really like, why I like her so much. She was the one who left Buzz. She thought she could help him. She thought she could change him, but he's just not the man that she fell in love with. and she went to Olive for help because she does know Olive's backstory. Now, not backstory, but she knows her reputation. And she went to Olive because she wanted Olive to help her, and Olive tried to help her. But because Olive is too well versed in dark magic, she ended up accidentally killing Lila, and she felt really badly. One of the few people she felt really terrible about killing, and because of that, she seeks out help elsewhere. Now, if you guys haven't watched my video about the renovation of their house, please go and watch it. It'll be in like the side card on this side, or is it on this side? This side. Yeah, so make sure you go watch that, and I go into more detail about it. But Lila is one of my favorite Sims. Olive is also one of my favorite Sims. I love Olive Spectre. She's just represents everything to me, and I think that you guys should go watch that video, and I go into quite a lot of detail about Olive and why I like her. A lot of people usually don't. I do. I like her. Ophelia, she's not my favorite. I like her husband more. I love Ophelia. One of the families that I played a lot of in Strangetown as a kid was Ophelia and Johnny. After Olive died, I would get them to sell the house, or I would get nervous to move into it, and Ophelia and Johnny would go and move out, and I would get them to go to college together, or I would get them to move, and they would move into Strangetown. I built them like this giant house one time. I spent like 12 hours, my friend and I spent 12 hours building this house and making their family, and it was great. They had a couple of kids. I really like them. But yeah, Pascal is a big meh for me. He was the one that creeped me out the most. Strangetown. Between him and Loki, they just really creeped me out. I don't know why. Laszlo, well, I don't know. I usually get him with Nervous. Like, that's who I usually get. I usually get him either with Nervous or AJ. He is gay. I've always made him gay. When I was a kid, I always made him get with one of them. Sometimes I've had him get with one of these two girls, or had an affair with one of them, stuff like that. But yeah, I like Laszlo. He's my favorite out of the bunch, out of the brothers. He's my favorite one. I like him the most. And yeah, he's cool. I usually get him with Aaron. That's usually who I get him with. Sometimes I get him with one of these girls though. But yeah. Vidkun they're okay. Vidkun, I didn't like that he got pregnant. I thought it was creepy that he got pregnant. He also has he still really loves Cersei, who he dated when he was a teenager. He has an enemy with Vidkun. In my current playthrough with Pleasant View, I have him become friends with the Goths, and I have him be friends with same with Pollination. Now I think it's because Pollination's gonna help the Goths, whereas Vidkun's just him and Mortimer get along because they're kind of studying the same thing, and he kind of looks up to Mortimer because Mortimer is a very successful scientist. So that's kind of, and he's also friends with Cassandra and stuff like that. Now this guy he's a Pollination. I don't play with him. I've never played with him. You don't really play with him. So I'm just going to put him in the meh. The unborn alien baby, again, in meh. Just because I don't, he ends up being one of their babies. Now Grim, he's sent to the Grim Reaper. I like Grim. I always like Grim. I'm here nor there with him. I just think he's great as a character in Strangetown. He's very interesting beside her. We'll just say that. He's funny. His interactions are funny. The Grim Reaper is hilarious in the game. Now all of these people are Olive's husbands, and I think one of them is Ophelia's dad. I don't know which one though, because there are no names that pop up over them. We're just gonna put all these guys in meh. They're only in meh because I don't hate them. Some of them cheated on her, so I just don't know which ones. So essentially they're meh because I've sent them to the Grim Reaper. And this is Jill. I think it's Jill. I've already placed her, so we're just gonna leave her there. I think maybe she was an extra in this tier list. But yeah, so that is my thing. This is my tier list for this Strangetown. Now I'm gonna do a Veronaville. I have to make a Veronaville one, so I have to get all the individual pictures, and yeah, I have to get all the individual pictures and make them. Excuse me. But I hope that you guys did enjoy this. Give it a big thumbs up. Think about subscribing to my channel if you did want to. If you want to see more content, I try to put at least one video out a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, or Fridays, or I try to make it at least 2. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye, guys!